Here's Archie's Travels, Chapter 6, entitled Sheep. Just when he was starting to enjoy himself, he was startled by a loud whistle and he ran back to Jack. See those sheep in the distance, he said. You're going to round them up for me, he said forcefully. Archie had never been near sheep before and he was curious about them. But one thing was for sure, he didn't want to hurt them. Jack was whistling and shouting instructions, and it was difficult for Archie to know which way to go. It was all very confusing. The sheep were bumping into each other and running left and right. It would have been comical if his master wasn't shouting and swearing so much. His face was going so red that Archie thought that he would explode. Over here, he shouted to Archie, and he ran over to the group of sheep, and he soon realized that they went wherever he pointed. It was like they were under his command, and he was beginning to enjoy himself. One of the sheep kept going the opposite way to all the others, and Jack was jumping up and down with rage and fury. Archie smiled to himself. He was starting to dislike his new boss, and anything which inconvenienced him was all right with him. He'd met many men, and they'd all been cruel and short-tempered. It's in their nature, Archie thought wisely. Finally, he rounded the sheep up, and Jack looked pleased, but his smile quickly faded. Now on to the next task, he said, and they trundled into the forest where his boss cocked his gun and pointed it mysteriously at the trees. At first Archie wasn't sure what he was doing, but when he heard the cry of a crow, and then they saw the flap of its black wings, he knew that once again they were hunting. Little did he know that now they were hunting for fun and not for food. Jack had a cruel streak, and he liked to kill for the fun of it. A shot rang out in the forest, and unfortunately it disturbed an even larger flock of birds, and a worried-looking squirrel scampered up a tree with a nut tight in its paw. Damn, Jack said, and another shot ricocheted off a tree trunk, bringing leaves and conkers down around them. This only made Jack more angry. Follow me, he said to Archie, and they went deeper into the forest. The forest was becoming more and more damp, and a rustling sound echoed in the distance, and it didn't take long for Archie to realize that they were coming to a river, and its rushing sounds filled his ears. His paws were soaked, and he was not happy, but it was going to get worse. There were rocks jutting out of the rushing water, and Jack began to walk across them confidently, using them as stepping stones. And he quickly reached the safety of the other side, and he whistled to Archie to follow. Archie placed one soggy paw onto the first slippy rock, and he inched his way across. When he got halfway, he noticed something in the water, and it was moving. It was black and slimy and horrible looking. He didn't know it, but it was an eel, and unfortunately he lost his concentration. And when his paw dropped into the icy cold water, he panicked, and he fell head first into the cold, eel-infested stream.